Well, there were some highlights, there was some studs, there was some duds, right? So I guess I'll change it up. I'll go first for once. I guess a stud for the Falcons is going to be definitely Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier, this is his first season out of BYU, drafted. Thought he was going to sit. I believe he was a 5th round pick as well, and he produced nicely in that game. You know, he was a really good pairing, like with Cordarrelle Patterson and Caleb Huntley in that game. He had 10 carries with 84 rushing yards, and he's a strong guy too. Like, he's not somebody that's, just very, like, he's mobile, absolutely, but he's got stockiness to it, so he can definitely push through the defense. So that's awesome. So, I got to give him a shout out. He definitely was there when we needed him to be there, and it's smart. I guess kind of like my stud would honestly be probably Arthur Smith, because there was a lot of good play calling in that game. So I can say that, against a very good Browns offense and a very good Browns defense, the running game wasn't bad, especially the secondary running game. So that's definitely a plus. So I'm happy about that. I hope that continues.
I like it.
Thank you.
Cool.
You want to go? Are you just sanitizing your hands, or I want to know. Like, you can.
I'm sorry. I'm putting some extra virgin olive oil on here.
I love it.
Yes, yeah. If you couldn't tell, he's my star and stud of the week. He's great. I do think that he's entitled for becoming Rookie of the Month. He's on par. He's had 4 catches for 67 yards, and then he had the touchdown there. So I really liked him. I love how fast he is, and yeah, he can speed up, slow down with those sweet ankles that it just puts the defense like off his route, that I think he can get some extra space in between to get those catches. So
is he seasoning the pan? Is that what he's doing? Is he getting ready to season it up? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is he drizzling the defense? You let me know.
Oh yeah. He's making it work. I love him.
Oh, you love him?
Yes.
But the real question is his name Christopher?
Christopher.
Is it Christopher?
Olave. Last name. One word. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, JD's right. Olave and London are going to be studs. There's no question about that. They're definitely going to be competing for that wide receiving top spot in the NFC South.
I hope we do get to keep him.
Of course you will. You're not going to let him walk. That'd be stupid.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Mr.
So,
Spencer.
hey, in Carolina, I know I talked about why this guy only get 8 carries for 27 yards, but he still got his hands on the ball. That last drive where they're driving down to kind of try to come back in the game, he was the one that caught the catch over the linebacker. So Christian McCaffrey got 9 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown to go along with his 27 rushing yards, over 100 scrimmage yards again. Chris, he's our guy. He's our lone bright spot. That defense is solid. I'm telling you, that defense is bend but don't break, but our offense is putting them in bad situations. But my guy, C-Mac, doing his thing.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, you guys, defense is really scary, actually, for like the Panthers and the Bucs. Like, it's definitely a battle of will. Like, I would 100% say, if you're going to focus on one area, don't focus on your defense. Your defenses are strong. Like, they're good. They're good.
Absolutely.
They solid. Now my duds. I'm pumped for this one. Oh, kitty. Look at the Panther. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not plan this. We have a Carolina Panther.
Yeah, right.
Live.
Give it to you.
Live.
Give me the Panther. Come on.
He heard the call.
My dud. Now this one's a good one. So as much as I talked about how we had a very strong running game for the Atlanta Falcons, why were we running against a defense that good? So my dud is Marcus Mariota. And we're going to talk about Marcus Mariota.
My gosh.
So, yeah, Marcus Mariota. So the pass game going into week 4 was really questionable, especially with the talent up front like London and Kyle Pitts. So why aren't they being utilized? And, there was questions about it, especially in the first couple of weeks, but you're going into week 4. London has proven that he can catch the ball. Pitts is good, in the interior too, so he can catch. So what's going on, right? It was questioning for sure if it was going to be Arthur Smith, that's the issue or not. But now I'm starting to question Marcus Mariota's his passing game. He had 1 interception, 5 carries, and only 139 passing yards. So with that being said, I think, and I'm going to want to limb and say, I think it's Desmond Ridder time. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a spoiler, but I think he's going to even possibly show up in the Bucs game. I wouldn't even be shocked, because the only way that that's going to happen, that we have any chance really against the Buccaneers, is number one, for the defense to show up and for us to have a passing game. Because with CP out right now, it's not going to work and it's not going to gel. So I think we're going to see potentially Desmond Ridder in the next game. Might be, Mitch Trubisky might have followed suit, and he might, unfortunately, have pressured a lot of head coaches to make that kind of turnover now. But Marcus Mariota, he's not, like, he was never going to be the number one guy regardless. He was always going to be a bridge quarterback, but I think his time might be coming a lot sooner than a lot of people realize. So that's my dad. Welcome, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on,
How's
man?
it going?
Hey, Sean, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. I'm still here. Don't worry.
Are you representing the Panthers?
I am representing the Panthers. So disregard the picture in the video.
So you downgraded even more.
Relax. The Tar Heels fan.
It's like, what is it? Come on, man. Right. Tar Heel season's coming.
Yeah.
Let's go. Good.
Mayfield wins. What's the difference?
Why don't you catch us up, Ben? So basically, we're not that far in. How did the Bucs do? Who were the stars and who were your duds?
Oh man, it just wasn't a good game all around. I mean, offensively, we put up the most points of the year in a game, but we also gave up the most points. So, if you saw the game, I mean, the opening kickoff of Rachaad White fumbled it. I mean, that really set the tone. Things like that can really set the tone for a game. And you can't do that against the Chiefs, because Mahomes will just, carve you up and just score on you real quick. And that's what they did. And they just never let their foot off the gas pedal. They just went full blown, and we just couldn't match them. I mean, it was just one of those games where it just seemed like Andy Reid knew what play to call every possession, and they ran all over us. I mean, they had 189 yards rushing on us. That's the most we've given up, I believe, in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, yeah, and not only was it Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but it was also Isaiah. I forget his last name.
Pacheco.
There.
That guy balled out. I honestly didn't hear his name until last night, but that guy's a stud, man. My God.
Well, if you had him on your fantasy team somewhere in the 12th or 13th round, you did pretty damn good. I mean, so, but and then as far as the stars go, Mike Evans. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns. Yeah. He was great. I mean, he was so desperately needed. I mean, missing the Packers game killed us, because we only gave up 14 points, but we only scored 12 points.
I'll be honest with you. That's the only person, like, even going into next week, that I'm worried about is Mike Evans. I'm not worried about Julio. I'm not worried about anybody else. Maybe Chris Godwin, but even healthy. But Mike Evans, he's consistent and he's scary. He's a great route runner.
Absolutely. I mean, and he's a great blocker too in the field, open field, So, I mean, we needed that, and we didn't have it against the Packers. So, as far as the duds, I mean, I got to say, man, our running game, it was just not. Fournette was non-existent. Rachaad White, I mean, I'm not going to pick on him too much. He's a rookie. That fumble, and then he just couldn't get anything going. You got to have balance on offense. I don't care who your quarterback is. Tom Brady cannot be throwing the ball 50-plus times.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's true.
Especially because we were behind most of the game as well. So, and he got hit real hard on that safety blitz. Did you see that one where
Oh God!
I mean, he just didn't see it coming.
I worry about
boom.
that. That's the one thing that I worry about going into this year for the Buccaneers is the fact that Tom Brady has one more year left on his contract. If he does not sign is the question, but it does looking like he is probably going to retire this year.
Yeah, and then the divorce comes out today that they're already
I don't want him to go out and get hurt. Like I don't want him to end his career like Drew Brees. As much as I have my own view of the Saints, I don't want that to be his final chapter.
Well, what hurt us, guys, is Ryan Jensen getting hurt in training camp. Our center.
Oh, Jensen.
That was a devastating blow. I mean, now you got to replace an all-pro, center. And
that's key.
Marpet retired, so you got to replace him as well. We got Shaq Mason in a trade from New England. He's done pretty good so far, but then Donovan goes out for a couple games with the elbow injury. When we played the Saints, he injured his elbow. So, I mean, it's just a makeshift offensive line, and you can't have that when you have a 45-year-old veteran quarterback in Tom Brady. It just makes things a lot tougher.
Yeah, 100%. No, you definitely nailed that on the head. Sean, who were your duds for the Panthers this week?
Just as quickly as I said, you need to have Christian McCaffrey because he will make any struggling quarterback look better. You can't make what's crappy already look any better than that. You could try to dress it up. Baker Mayfield just is struggling. One of the interceptions was actually tipped at the line, so it wasn't his fault. The other was he just all the way back through college, and I know he won the Heisman. He's always just looked like sometimes he's really great, and he's like, I want that guy. He's repping his stuff and grabbing it and getting all into people's faces. But then there's other times where he's just like, dude, are you kidding me, man? Like, and so in this game, I really felt like when they started getting behind, in the first half, they were shut. Their defense was shutting them down. So Baker wasn't affecting them as much. But once they continued to had poor field position and the defense is just, Baker is just not helping out and it's struggling for me. And that's my dud for this week. That's where it stands for me. I'm one of the ones that wanted to say it's not his fault for what happened in Cleveland, but at the same time, I'm still kind of like, you got to show me something. You're getting the opportunity. You got a good defense. Come on.
I'm sorry to interrupt real quick. Whoever thought he was going to be a big upgrade is sadly mistaken. He's not. Cleveland, their running game is still great. That's what made Baker so good, was the running game, their offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made him good.
So I'm going to counter this because I'm not completely sold yet on the Baker Mayfield Express out of Carolina. So let me just ask a round question then quickly. How much does head coaching factor into, I guess, your plays?
I can give you that. It's a lot into it.
Yeah. So let's just dive into that. Okay. So Baker Mayfield, he's in Cleveland, right? Like a rebuild, complete rebuild, pretty much, minus your running game.
Mm-hmm.
So you can only be judged on that so much, right? Then you go into Carolina, where Matt Rule has been declining over the years. Like, let's not even try and sugarcoat that. We're going to call crap. Okay. So what are you supposed to do? You're going from one crap situation to another crap situation, expecting to be the ultimate fix. It's not really fair, in my opinion. Like, I at the very least think that there should be another head coach in Carolina to see how he's going to maybe shape Baker Mayfield. Because if we're saying that, then we're saying the same thing about Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
In all fairness.
Yeah. I think Baker helped try to turn them around in Cleveland. He took this team to the playoffs after, before they had him, he's 2-30, 2-32. You know what I mean? He could get it done, and we see his peak, but he has to have supporting cast. He has to have he had a 2 running back system over there, and he had a solid defense. Chris McCaffrey's healthy over here. He has DJ Moore. He has Robbie Anderson is no slouch. I've slept on him for a while. He's no slouch. He can get the job done, but Baker, when it comes down to it, Baker struggles in the worst possible times. He's a more mobile Kirk Cousins. He's gonna cost you the game at some point, and then he's gonna just look like and walk off the field. Messes with me.
That's fair. That is fair. Nicole, I don't think we heard your dud, did we?
Well, actually, it's funny you speak about Dudds and like how much on the head coach and stuff, because I actually put down here, and I don't care if he's not a player, but I put Dennis Allen as the head coach of the Saints.
That's fine. I've
as
done
a
it.
dud.
Hey.
I feel like we're right in the same kind of with the Panthers. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of discussion with the Saints fans this week about, Dennis Allen and his coaching. Mind you, we're just coming off of Sean Payton, and the way he sees the game, the way he knows the guys on the field. I just felt like there was some penalties that did happen that I would have liked maybe the head coach to take charge and try a challenge, because I definitely saw that there was I think there was an interference, or that it was a pass interference where it really costed us quite a bit of yards. And you could see on the replay that it was completely not a penalty, I think. But I was just like, I feel like Sean Payton might have challenged that, or would have seen and believed maybe in knowing his players, in seeing it on the field, and maybe it would have challenged that. I feel there's no bite from Dennis Allen yet. I feel like he's still not as experienced. Like, I mean, what can I say? I'm missing Drew Brees and Sean Payton. And it's also too, it goes like that quarterback and the head coach, and how well those dynamics and how well they play off of knowing each other, trusting each other. Trust is a huge factor, I think. So yeah, that's my dud. Sorry, Alan. Alan. Yeah.
I mean, you could put on Sean Payton's clothes. You could put on his deodorant. You could put on his
wow.
But that doesn't mean you're going to be like Sean Payton.
Right.
Did someone do that in a movie recently?
Well, Kevin J. He does it better than Dennis Allen.
Right. Can we get him? Where is he?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.